There's new footage that's got the internet on edge after BigXThaPlug's circle was rocked again. This time at the funeral of his best friend Z, there were rumors of Opps pulling up. And in Dallas, that always means one thing: drama. Here's what really happened, what's confirmed, and why the city is watching closely. The shooting and the footage that broke the internet New Year's Eve in Dallas was supposed to be a celebration. The vibes were immaculate at Pink House Dallas as the club threw its grand opening event. Bottles were getting popped. The DJ was spinning heat. BigXThaPlug and his crew were posted up in their section, living their best life. Z the Wizard was right there with them, fresh off a performance, ready to bring in 2026 the right way. Z had just finished his set, making it rain on the crowd like any real one would do at a function like this. The energy was up. Nobody in that building knew that in a few hours everything was about to go left in the worst way possible. On January 1st, 2026, around 3:45 in the morning, shots started ringing out in the parking lot of Pink House Dallas during its grand opening. The gunfire came out of nowhere, turning what was supposed to be a lit night into pure chaos. When the smoke cleared, four people were laid out. Among them was Z the Wizard, a 25-year-old rising rapper from the city who had caught a bullet to the dome. BigXThaPlug was in the building that night. He had been turning up with his squad just moments before everything went sideways. The two had been kicking it together all night, with Z having performed at the venue earlier, doing his thing and showing love to the crowd. Then the footage dropped online, and it went dummy viral across every platform.
The reaction of BigXThaPlug finding out his homie was the one.
And he got a homie named Z the Wizard. Apparently Z the Wizard got shot in the head last night. I don't know how, I don't know why. I think I read something that said they was like shooting at Big X and trying to kill Big X, and his homie was around. His homie bust back.
In the viral clip, you can hear BigXThaPlug straight up in shock. His voice carries that disbelief that hits when you can't process what just happened to someone you rock with. He reportedly said something like, "They shot Z in the head. What the F?" The pain in his voice was real. Security was trying to get him out of there, but you could tell bro was stuck in that moment trying to wrap his head around what just went down. The clip blew up on X, Instagram, and TikTok within hours. The algorithm picked it up and pushed it to everybody's feed. Within a few days, the video had racked up over 100,000 views across different reposts and reaction videos. The comments were flooded with prayers, condolences, and people expressing straight disbelief. That raw emotion in the footage connected with viewers who had never seen an artist react like that in real time to finding out their mans just got hit. The aftermath was messy on multiple levels. Z the Wizard got rushed to the hospital in critical condition, fighting for his life on life support. But on the internet, the cap was already spreading faster than the truth. Blogs were running with unconfirmed reports saying he was already gone. Fans were posting RIP messages before his family even had a chance to breathe. Some outlets were so pressed for clicks they declared him dead before anything was official. All that confusion made the footage spread even crazier. People were sharing the clip trying to figure out if Z had made it or not. Some were calling out the blogs for being goofy and posting fake news for engagement. Others were just praying for a miracle. The uncertainty had everybody refreshing their feeds waiting for updates. The official word came through on January 5th, 2026, when Z the Wizard passed away from his injuries. After days of fighting on life support with his family, keeping visitors limited to protect their peace during the hardest time of their lives, he was gone. The hip-hop community took that L hard. The details around the shooting are still murky. Dallas police haven't made any arrests as of now. Word on the street from eyewitnesses is that some beef started inside the club and spilled out to the parking lot. Reports suggest the whole thing might have kicked off when Z the Wizard was throwing money during his performance and accidentally hit some dudes who took it as disrespect.
If it was targeted, I don't know if they was shooting at Big X. I don't know if he was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know if they was shooting in his direction on purpose. I don't know, bro.
According to some breakdown videos that analyzed the footage, the dudes who felt disrespected stepped to Z's crew near the bathroom. Club security got in between them and kicked the other group out, but the tension didn't die down. Instead, it escalated in the parking lot. Reports indicate that Z and his squad may have grabbed their straps from their whips and pursued the other group. Some analyses of the available footage suggest the shooting might have involved friendly fire from Z's own crew during the chaotic exchange. One video allegedly shows a shooter running while dumping shots blindly, potentially hitting people on their own side. This theory hasn't been confirmed by police, though, so take it with a grain of salt. What ain't speculation? Z the Wizard is gone at 25 years old. BigXThaPlug lost one of his day ones in a matter of seconds. And the footage of Big X's reaction captured a moment of genuine pain that hit viewers because you could tell it wasn't cap.
You got a lot of prayers in the comment section. Prayers out to them boys. That's why I stay in the crib on New Year's Eve. No cap. It happens every year.
Literally.
You got a lot of people.
I don't understand that New Year's Eve go out type thing. Like, I've probably been out on New Year's Eve 3 times in my 27 years, and every single time, every one of them 3 times, I came this close to getting my ass killed, smoked, shot, robbed, something. Ran over.
The club itself, Pink House Dallas, caught heat in the aftermath of the shooting. According to reports, the venue was hosting its grand opening as an after-hours spot. People were pointing out that the security was lacking, saying the pad-ons weren't thorough enough, and that's how straps got inside in the first place. What made it worse was that hours after the shooting, the club's IG was posting about how much bread they made that night. A lot of people thought that was straight up disrespectful, considering somebody had just caught a headshot and was fighting for his life. The whole situation also got people talking about how dangerous clubs can be, especially on nights like New Year's Eve when everybody and their mama is outside. Dallas police got 759 calls about celebratory gunfire on New Year's Day alone. The city was already hot, and Pink House Dallas just happened to be one of the spots where things popped off. Who was Z the Wizard and his connection to BigXThaPlug? To understand why this footage hit so hard for so many people, you got to understand who Z the Wizard was and what he meant to the Dallas rap scene. This wasn't just another name in a headline. This was a young bull on the come-up whose life got cut short right when everything was starting to click. Z the Wizard, government named Zachary Cannon Grant Fields, was a 25-year-old spitter from the Oak Cliff and Dotto areas of Texas. His story was one of grinding through adversity and switching lanes when life threw him a curveball. He was raised mainly by his mom's lean on Grant, who he called his third heartbeat. That bond shaped the man he became. Everybody who knew him said he was humble, respectful, and had genuine love for his people. Growing up, Z was a baller. Football was his first love, and he went hard on the field with the same intensity he would later bring to the booth. But life had other plans for him. A bad injury ended his athletic dreams and forced him to find another path. Instead of letting that setback hold him down, he channeled all that competitive energy into music. He picked up the mic and never looked back. He started going in on music around 2023, adopting the name Z the Wizard as a nod to his ability to finesse his way through life's obstacles with creativity and determination. The name fit. Former coaches and teachers remembered him as a smart dude with a strong drive to put his family in a better position and break the cycle that had affected so much of his early life. His catalog grew quick once he locked in on the music. He dropped his debut project, Wiss Who Is Z, in 2024, which put people on to his introspective style and authentic perspective. That same year, he linked up with Young Don for Was the Dawn, a collab tape that showed he could work well with other artists. In April 2025, he blessed the streets with Words of Wisdom, an album that showcased his growth and included tracks that resonated with listeners who appreciated bars with substance. His biggest records included Boston and Gay with over 125,000 Spotify streams, Anti-Cap Music sitting around 40,000 streams, and Chevy, which became a local anthem. He had approximately 25,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, with his sound fitting perfectly in the southern trap and street rap lanes. His music touched on themes of getting money, personal growth, staying solid, and navigating the streets, delivered with a flow that blended rawness with melody. His trajectory was on a steady incline that suggested stardom was just a matter of time. In August 2025, he signed a deal with Future's Free Bands Gang label, a major co-sign that put him in position for national recognition. He got stamps of approval from industry heavyweights like Meek Mill, who recognized that Z was a real one with a strong work ethic. He was named to the Dallas Observer's list of the top 25 DFW rappers of 2025. Proof that the city was paying attention. Everything pointed toward 2026 being his year to blow. He was supposed to level up. Instead, he was laid to rest. His connection to BigXThaPlug went way deeper than just industry networking. Both artists were core members of what's called the New Dallas Movement, a collective of DJs and artists committed to bringing unity and positive energy to the DFW hip-hop scene. This movement came up as a direct response to the violence that had been claiming lives in the Dallas music community. The scene had already lost artists like Mo3 who got gunned down in 2020. That weight hung over everybody who was trying to make it out through music. BigXThaPlug didn't just show love to Z the Wizard from a distance. He actively put him on. He brought him on tour, gave him exposure to bigger crowds. He elevated his profile through shared stages and consistent public cosigns. Their relationship was described as a big homie looking out for a young bull who had all the potential in the world. When BigThaPlug vouched for somebody, that meant something in Dallas.
He seems like a clean-cut, get-money hustler.
Yeah.
And you know, they out of Dallas, Texas. And from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people out of that area are like that. They're hustlers. They get into the bag. They ain't necessarily worried about the BS, the drama.
Outside of the music, Z the Wizard was a father. He left behind 2 kids who got to grow up without their pops now. He was also active in his community in ways that went beyond making hits. In his final days, right before the shooting that would take his life, he put together a toy drive for the kids in his neighborhood. His people said that was just who he was. He had what they called a heart of gold. The tributes that flooded in after his passing confirmed what everybody close to him already knew. Artists like G Herbo, who had just shot a collab video with Z the Wizard, called him a genuine dude. Day ones like Head Huncho Amir and Zillionaire Doe shared personal memories, throwback pics, and old videos on social media, calling him one of them once and promising to keep his name ringing. Timothy Chung, another collaborator, added his voice to the tributes. A candlelight vigil went down on January 11th, 2026 at Inspiring Body of Christ Church in Dallas. About 100 people pulled up to pay their respects. Everybody rocking blue to honor Z. His mother, Lenon Grant, spoke at the service, sharing her grief with the crowd that had gathered to celebrate her son's life. A pastor addressed the anger, pain, and confusion that comes with losing someone to gun violence. The crowd chanted, "This life matters." Police were on site, a reminder that the investigation into who killed him was still open. Despite the title of this video talking about Opps at funeral, no footage of rivals showing up to the memorial has surfaced. No drama was reported at the vigil. The event stayed peaceful, focused entirely on mourning and celebrating the life of a young king who was taken way too soon. The tragedy put a spotlight on a reality that looms over the Dallas hip-hop scene. This wasn't some beef-related situation based on everything we know. This was a night of celebration that went completely left over what might have been a simple misunderstanding at a club. Some thrown dollars, a perceived slight, an escalation that nobody could walk back, and a young father, son, and artist who will never step in the booth again. BigXThaPlug's, Opps, and the rivalries that define his rise. While Z the Wizard's death doesn't appear connected to any direct beef involving BigXThaPlug, the Dallas rapper has had to navigate mad drama during his come-up. Understanding these conflicts gives you context for why speculation about Opps pops up whenever anything goes down near his circle. When you're winning as hard as BigXThaPlug has been, you're going to attract haters whether you want the smoke or not. BigXThaPlug, born Xavier Londom on May 12, 1998 in Dallas, Texas, has turned himself into one of hip-hop's coldest success stories of the decade. His journey from aspiring football player to chart-topping rapper is marked by setbacks, reinvention, and an authenticity that connects with fans who want their artists to keep it 100. His breakout came with tracks that showed his street credibility without any of the cap. Hits like Texas went 2x platinum, while MHM hit a crazy 3x platinum. The largest became another monster record. He's linked up with everybody from Post Malone and Offset to country stars like Luke Combs and Bailey Zimmerman. His track All the Way with Zimmerman topped hot rap songs. By 2025, he was being called Texas's hottest rapper by major outlets. But winning in hip-hop means you're going to catch hate. BigXThaPlug's main beefs have come from the competitive, sometimes grimy landscape of Southern rap. These conflicts range from street politics to industry miscommunication, and understanding them helps explain why his name gets brought up whenever violence touches his circle. This beef traces back to the Fort Worth streets that both artists came up in. The DFW Metroplex is a complicated web of neighborhoods, crews, and competing interests. Lil CJ Casino rides with Casino World, a crew that includes his family members and puts Fort Worth on their back. BigXThaPlug started 600 Yenti in 2023 as his independent label, signing artists like Roma and Young Hood. Both crews operate in overlapping territory, and friction was bound to happen. In early 2024, Lil CJ Casino said he got robbed of his jewelry, designer clothes, bread, and other valuables from his whip while at DGB Studio in Houston. Among the stolen items was a hard drive with unreleased music, allegedly including some of BigXThaPlug's early tracks from when he was just coming up. When BigXThaPlug's team moved quick to get the music back, Lil CJ thought that was suspicious. He started wondering if the whole lick was a setup. Lil CJ slid back with Boss Up, a diss track that called out BigXThaPlug directly and referenced the studio incident. The track positioned Lil CJ as somebody willing to create controversy for the buzz. BigXThaPlug responded on IG Live defending himself and the studio. He shouted out the studio owner, flexed his touring success and his bag, and told Lil CJ to focus on leveling up instead of dwelling on old drama.
How'd you end up getting into a argument or a disagreement with Big X? How'd that come about?
Man, how the fuck did it come about? Manager was robbed. Just some more happened with that situation. Cause somebody had stole from me, so a lot of shit behind that. We squashed that shit. That shit ain't nothing though.
You did squash it. How'd that come about?
That's what I'm saying. Some situation had happened. We got over it though. That shit wasn't nothing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. A lot of times it feels like rappers start beefing and there's like no way out. Like they just got to keep going at it.
And when I got real smoke, you know what I'm saying? I'm just put it like that.
By mid-2025, the situation had cooled off. In a July 2025 interview, Lil CJ Casino said the beef was nothing for real, explaining it came from some thefts and back and forth that eventually got squashed. He confirmed they chopped it up and moved forward without any lingering issues. Both artists seemed to have realized the conflict was generating more noise than actual smoke. This particular drama kicked off in January 2026 and centers on the complicated business side of getting features cleared. Finesse 2 Times, a Memphis rapper with his own solid fanbase, came at BigXThaPlug, claiming he wouldn't clear a collab they had recorded together. According to Finesse, his label, Mob Ties Records, told him that BigXThaPlug was personally blocking the release.
Now y'all see the issue I'm having with the label. The label is the one told me that Big X and his folks said that Big X said he not clearing the song. So who lying? The label or Big X? But guess what? For Big X calling me and us getting an understanding, him telling me ain't nobody told him that. And ain't nobody asked him to do this with me. And I asked the label.
BigXThaPlug handled the situation by actually picking up the phone and calling Finesse directly. Something a lot of artists in similar beefs wouldn't even do. During their convo, BigXThaPlug said he was never asked to clear anything in the first place. He told Finesse the song was hard and he would have cleared it immediately if anybody had just asked him. This put the blame on Finesse label instead of BigXThaPlug. Finesse publicly apologized, admitting he was quick to go off without getting all the facts. He acknowledged that his label might have been playing games with the information. But days later, things flipped again. Finesse took back his apology, calling BigXThaPlug a liar and cranking the beef back up. He challenged BigXThaPlug to a $500,000 boxing match to settle things in the ring. The irony wasn't lost on people who pointed out that BigXThaPlug and Finesse 2 Times had already linked up on a 2024 track literally called Opps. Whether this beef is real smoke or just a publicity play for engagement remains to be seen. The Big Yavo situation. This beef is all about the phrase "the largest" and who has the right to claim it as their signature. Big Yavo, an Alabama rapper, dropped an album titled "The Largest" in November 2022, making the phrase his thing. When BigXThaPlug released a single, also called "The Largest," in August 2024, Yavo felt like his style got jacked. Big Yavo went on No Jumper and other platforms to air out his grievances, claiming that BigXThaPlug ran off with his ideas after seeking inspiration from him. BigXThaPlug denied the accusations in interviews, calling the critics random rappers who were just hating on his success. He said he'd handle it if pushed, but also showed respect for Yavo based on their previous collabs. This beef shows how territorial hip-hop can be over catchphrases, similar to past disputes over ad-libs and signature lines. While Yavo's album dropped nearly 2 years before BigXThaPlug's single, the debate over who owns a phrase is still ongoing. None of these beefs connect to Z the Wizard's death. Despite all the speculation that pops up whenever violence touches BigXThaPlug's circle, none of these rivalries have been linked to the shooting that took Z the Wizard's life. Dallas police are still investigating. Some sources have mentioned an arrest connected to the shooting, but details are still thin. The internet stays running with theories, but theories without proof don't mean nothing.
They was able as men to come together and call, FaceTime and say, hey man, to have that conversation is big. Because a lot of times these people, young folks especially, who ain't been through nothing, egos can be your worst amigos. So we'll get caught up in sticking our chest out. I done did it before. Man, I don't got that. You know what he did to me. You get so mad and so frustrated before you even understand. Without understanding, things can go really bad.
What's clear? Z the Wizard is gone at 25 years old. His career was on the way up. He left behind his kids, his family, and a community that genuinely loved him. The footage of BigXThaPlug's reaction captured a moment that no artist should ever have to go through. The new Dallas movement keeps pushing forward. The music keeps coming, but another rising artist has been lost to the streets, and the footage from that night will stay burned into the memory of everybody who watched BigXThaPlug find out in real time that his homie just got hit. The investigation continues. The questions remain, and somewhere in Dallas, 2 kids are growing up without their father. The viral footage of BigXThaPlug's reaction will probably circulate for years. It's already been featured in mad reaction videos, news segments, and social media posts. Every time somebody new discovers it, they experience that same gut punch of watching a man learn in real time that his day one just caught a headshot. The rawness doesn't fade. Some commenters have drawn comparisons to other tragic moments in hip-hop history where violence has cut down rising artists before they could fully blow. The Dallas scene has seen its share of these losses. Mo3's death in 2020 still echoes through the community. Now Z the Wizard's name has been added to that sad list. For BigXThaPlug, the loss adds another layer of weight to the crown he's been building. Success in hip-hop comes with costs that don't always show until tragedy hits. He has to keep grinding on his career while processing the loss of somebody who is supposed to be right there with him, climbing toward the same heights. The new Dallas movement faces a test of its strength. Can a collective built on unity and peace continue its mission after losing one of their own to senseless violence? The artists who remain will have to answer that question with their moves in the months and years ahead. Z the Wizard believed in what they were building. His memory deserves to see that vision through. As for the footage that started all this attention, it stands as a reminder of how fast celebration can turn to devastation. One moment you're in the club with your squad making it rain, performing your music, living the dream you've been chasing. The next moment you're in a hospital bed fighting for your life, while your homie's shocked voice echoes across the internet. The title asks about Opps at funeral. The reality is both simpler and more complicated. There was no documented presence of rivals at Z the Wizard's vigil. The viral footage captures something else entirely. The moment a rising star's life changed forever, caught on camera for the world to witness. That footage will outlive the speculation. It will outlive the headlines. It will serve as a permanent record of loss in an industry that has seen way too much of it. Long live Z the Wizard. The wizard is gone, but the music lives on. That brings us to the end of this video.